Hey y'all, welcome back. It's Contessa here with your second dose of nonsense on the web. If you're asking, Contessa, what are you up to today? Well, as you know, we are once again trying to weed through all the BS that has been laid throughout the Marvon McRae story. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you all for hitting that like button. And please, if you don't mind, I would appreciate if you hit the subscribe button on your way out. By doing that, you are absolutely helping me get the truth out there further for more people to understand that there is a need for people to be pausing, stopping, and getting to the bottom of the facts in this story. And sorry, if you hear noises in the background, I have two kittens that are playing in the windowsill that will not stop. I do kind of have a little bit of a small zoo in my home. But let's get into what we're going to be discussing in this video. So, my last video, we went over the relationship between Molly and Katie and how that working relationship or collaboration started off peaceful between the two of them when they were both covering this case. In the last video, we went over a stream that MollyGoLightly did on July 11th. This video that we're going to be talking about today and dissecting happened on July 12th. So it was 2:30 in the morning on July 12th when this video stream started. So from midday on the 11th to late in the evening on the 11th, things had drastically changed in Katie and Molly's relationship. But once again, as you will see in this stream, things that are being said that happened and caused the fallout between the two of them aren't really, once again, being portrayed accurately. Everyone is entitled to their opinion on what they think these creators have done or who's at fault for what. That is up to you for you to decide. However, we need to get to the bottom of who laid misinformation and where was this misinformation actually coming from. In this video, we're going to cover a few different topics and why this is so important in the big picture of how things stand at this point in the story. Once again, if you are interested in seeing the full stream, you can head on over to MollyGoLightly's channel from July 12th. And as always, this is my opinion and solely my opinion. And this content does fall under the fair use guidelines. All right, let's get into it, but buckle up because this one gets a little messy at points. And there is some pretty serious information that we need to discuss throughout this video.
Okay, so Molly Go Lightly. It is 2:30 in the morning, and about 3 hours ago, I said that I was going to bed. Unfortunately, I cannot sleep. Something's keeping me awake, and I think I have to clarify something. So
You just heard her state it's 2:30 a.m. and she is making a video at 2:30 a.m. because she can't sleep. Something is just bothering her. Now remember, this is 2:30 July 12th, 2:30 in the morning. However, she's been live almost the entire day on the 11th, streaming over and over and over and over again. Also, she had been encouraging other people to go over to Katie's channel to watch stuff.
things aren't misconstrued, and like I said, I'm only responsible for what I say on my channel. And I say this with all due respect. Without a Crystal Ball has put out information today from her sources. I don't know who they are, but they did say to her, and she said to me and Justin on her panel, that the person that's giving her this information had called CPS and that they got a response back that CPS is definitely looking into it and requested 10 days to get these children to a pediatrician. I just wondered, I'm not going to ask who this person is that is giving this information, but I don't know how you can really verify that, because when you're dealing with CPS, it's much like HIPAA laws. And
we all heard Molly state in the last video that I did that she basically was working alongside the admins for the Justice for Vaughn group. Well, if you take a glimpse at the Justice for Vaughn admin chat, one of their chats, because again, there are multiple, you will see that one of the admins from Justice for Vaughn actually admits to calling CPS. Not only does she admit to calling CPS, but she passes off the number to the other admins on CPS. And yes, Katie might have a different source related to the case in a different way, but all of them were getting information from this admin group. And this admin group told both Molly and Katie that they had contacted CPS and what had gone on. But the CPS worker also called them back. See, on the 5th of July, if anybody remembers, Tony made a post stating that authorities were watching their page. And I'll be the first to say, if there is serious and valid concerns, I am not shaming anyone for calling if they know that there's serious and valid concerns. However, I think it crosses the line that when admins who have a personal vendetta against the mother start calling CPS and they're complete strangers from the internet. Let's get back into discussing what Molly just said. She can't confirm what Katie was saying. However, she was confirming this a couple days ago, stating that over 6,700 phone calls. Yes, then she said, I can't confirm that afterwards. But she, at first, was confirming these details because not only were they getting them from a source connected to the ex husband, but things were coming from the admins in this Facebook group. As you can see, the admins from the Facebook group are even stating that the caseworker from CPS joined their Facebook group. And yes, I know some of you are probably like, oh, they're just talking. That actually didn't happen. Yada, yada, yada. I will let you guys do your own research there. And again, in my opinion, it's one thing if a CPS worker joins a group to gather information and does it discreetly, but for them to be communicating that to complete strangers on the internet who have a vendetta against the mother, that puts a whole different thing into perspective here. And there are very professional boundaries, especially when dealing with minors, that should be followed no matter who it is, especially when you're dealing with safety and well-being of minor children. Nobody from CPS should be giving updates to random strangers on the internet. Yes, they will sometimes provide family short updates. That's it usually.
I don't understand how anyone from CPS would call back with a update.
And again, I cannot confirm if Katie got a call back or not from CPS directly, but I can confirm that Tony was telling the others that she got a call back.
So I never asked. I was just a mess on the panel. So then skipping to.
But if you're not asking questions on where this information is coming from, then why would you be passing it off to your followers as fact? Because up until this point, that's what you had done. You had encouraged followers to go watch her streams and listen to this information, but now you're saying, I cannot confirm, which I understand happens and you're not responsible for what she says. But this was also coming from people that you are surrounded
The
with.
second part was she put out, without a crystal ball, put out a community post that said that Andrea McRae has lawyered up.
And as all of you know and have heard stated numerous times by many different people, whether Dre has an attorney or not is unknown. Nobody really knows because Dre's not talking. And I don't know who the heck thinks she is, but she's not. So unless they got court filings with an attorney's name on them, I don't know how that would be verified anyways. And Dre herself, we know now, has said she didn't.
I would have worded it a little different and said, and it's all about how you say it. I don't want to be responsible of any sort of miscommunication or anything that's not verifiable. I don't know who's there to verify all of this stuff, but
you would have worded it differently because it's all about how you say it. Molly, can you please take 10 minutes and go back and listen to some of the things you say? Because it really doesn't make sense. Because let's be honest, you don't word anything correctly. And again, you passed off this information for days, and now you're finally saying, I cannot verify this information. Days after.
to say that she's got a lawyer and she's not allowed to talk on social media, not allowed to jump in any panels.
I feel like that rumor started because Dre took down her business page and stopped addressing all of the rumors on social media. That's where that started.
I think that I will believe legal counsel when they give an announcement, or
Isn't it ironic? Don't you think? I think what she's getting at is that she's going to wait for the attorneys to address the public and the allegations if Dre has an attorney. But yet, when people ask or expect the same of Letitia, considering she has this attorney, we are all just crazy to think that she would stop talking on social media, right?
when there's if and when there is an arrest.
Now she's switched to if and when there is an arrest, because she's taking responsibility for her choice of words. Uh-huh.
Like I said, it makes me very uncomfortable that a lot of things are being tossed around as fact. I know people are trying to start trouble already.
Obviously, it doesn't bother you that bad because not once have you not participated in that same exact behavior. In the next clip, you're going to hear admins from the Justice for Vaughn group discussing their calls that they made to CPS on Dre and the family. So I want you to hear what they put in their group chats. And again, these are people that were giving Molly and Katie information.
Okay, y'all just gonna have to ignore my little country voice for a minute because it's a lot to type. But she basically just asked me a bunch of questions. She wanted to know why he was in a coma. She wanted to know her page to where she could see those videos. I also gave her the Exposing Dre McCray page because she can't get in supporters, so she can't see those videos like the spit video. She also gave me her phone number and her name. She's gonna be the caseworker and told me to call her back if I seen anything else.
Now, that voice you're hearing is admin Tony. So, Tony was one of the first ones to make phone calls on Dre and family to CPS. What she's stating is the CPS worker called her back, gave her her information, and also joined their Facebook group. Let's hear from Gigi.
I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited. I almost am gonna cry. Oh my gosh, I see it. People are asking like who can they report to, and I just don't know how that goes. So I asked the exposed group and the other big group, like what is their advice? I have chills too, Tony. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Like I'm literally about to cry. Like all these people bashing us, like we're bashing her, but we really just want something to happen. And I don't know. I'm just so excited.
I included the screenshots of a couple of the creators she reached out to just for transparency reasons. You can read those yourself. I do agree, as long as it's public information, they're not doxing anybody. And the other group had told them, I don't think that you should do that because it'll flood CPS with phone calls. So props to those pages for doing the right thing, in my opinion, also. But they obviously did not take that advice. And they also ran with this information and gave it to creators. There was a lot of bad information being spread. I'm really interested to hear what you guys have to say about these recordings of how excited they got when the CPS worker joined their group. Do you guys find that odd? And do you also find it odd that they announced that authorities were using their page on the same date? Do you guys find any of that odd, or is it just me? I find it to be incredibly odd, especially if they're really concerned about the safety and well-being.
With me, Justin, and without a crystal ball, I don't know her. I've never had a conversation with her until like yesterday.
But not even 12 hours previous to this, she was calling this a friendship, wasn't she?
So, today it went into some lengthy deal. So I don't know who these people are, and I can't confirm anything like that. And I can't just listen. I'm reading off the emails and people that want to be heard. Listen.
So if you can't confirm the information as factual, then stop passing it off as factual. Only confirm what you can.
Listen, this is a very dark subject. This is a very dark situation. And for me, it's just about us shedding light into what her life was really like. And who was kind of victimized by what they believed was a person that they could look up to, and
And once again, you hear her state that she's just there to basically hear these people out that have stories who have been victimized by Dre. But one thing she hasn't done throughout this entire story was verify those sources, or vet those sources, as I usually call it. Vetting those sources would have allowed her to see that a lot of these women have personal vendettas against Dre for other reasons.
I'm definitely no fan, but I would like to be able to get the facts 100% straight. And guess what? I don't have 100% facts straight.
Well, sorry, Molly, but you failed that one miserably because that was streamed July 12th. It is September 1st, and you continually, even today, have sat and given off misinformation without having any fact basis. If you were concerned about the facts ever, you would have stopped the shenanigans.
Unfortunately, I do know, as about an hour ago, that unfortunately, there's a group out there, I don't know who they are, I don't care, but they are attacking Marvan's family.
Well, 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 what do we hear there? Isn't it interesting how Katie and Molly were still working together at this point in time? They had started their downward kind of spiral. But Molly just states that there's a group of people attacking Letitia. Katie was still involved with the family at that time. So exactly who was attacking Letitia? Because you've said recently that it's all stemmed from KJ and them not wanting to work with KJ.
And it's things like this that just, you have to wonder about humanity. You have to wonder about, this is dangerous. Like, this is,
You're right. It is extremely dangerous and negligent to continue to pass off misinformation like you have.
Marvan's life is on the line, and he's not doing well. And,
Interesting, anytime that she is expected to take some accountability, it's always somebody else's fault, and then always this emotional pull.
What if some of us are wrong? And I don't think that any of us should be spreading information as fact.
I mean, seriously, is there any point in time that she realizes the BS that comes out of her mouth ever?
I'm just very uncomfortable with this story. Like I said, this is a very dark and evil story, and we're just trying to shed some light on it. And
all right, I want to hear from all of you. Yes, all of you I know will have something to say about this. But do you think that Molly was trying to shed light on this situation? And or do you think Molly's involvement has been positive for this story? And of course, we can ask him about your thoughts on Katie also. Do you think that Katie had good intentions coming into this story? And or do you think her involvement in this story has been positive in any way, shape, or form? Open to all comments.
Time sleeping because a lot of things don't make sense. So
one thing we can agree on, they don't make sense.
I think that my objective is just to help the victim's family. The victim being these children and Marvan.
I'm not going to pull a Molly and assume that I'm so important that she's actually spending the time watching my video. But if anybody clips it and sends it to her, please send this portion to her. Genuine question, Molly, and I would love to hear you answer this fully on a stream. What have you done that has been beneficial or helpful for Marvan's children? Can you explain that in detail, please?
And Marvan's parents and siblings, it's not like, you could take a crash course with, how to do a YouTube video on a true crime, which in a true crime case active that.
Of course, I don't really have a niche or a genre that I would even say I really fit into. So as far as true crime goes, I really have no idea there. But common sense would lead me to think that the first and foremost important thing when reporting on true crime is factual details. Like proof and facts that are really important in these cases.
They don't have a how-to video on, I'm exhausted, look at this, I'm exhausted, on how to do and make true crime videos, and it's all about trial and error.
I'll be the first to say I have no clue what I'm doing with 99% of this. However, I do know that honesty and transparency, especially in true crime for true crime community, is highly important.
And sometimes I've actually made some mistakes, and sometimes I've been wrong, and I'm very open to say, I'm wrong. Oh, I have to correct that.
I don't know about y'all, but I think I've been watching the wrong accountability videos, because if she admits that she's wrong, then I haven't seen those videos. I've only seen the ones that say she's apologetic and taking accountability, the ones where she blames somebody else, or it's somebody else's fault for her behaviors, or she's just tired or has a medical thing going on. Those videos where she's taking accountability. Has anybody else seen these ones where she admits when she's wrong? The one thing I can say for Katie is I do know that Katie did apologize for her actions in this case, and also took accountability for some of the things that she felt she did wrong. You might disagree that she didn't take accountability for all of what she did. That's here nor there. You can have those opinions and she can have hers. I'm not asking for you guys to agree with everything one or the other has done, because it's not like that. I don't agree with most people, even myself at times. Hello.
And she said, "Oh, I don't think that this could be summarized in 30 minutes. I'm an in-depth reporter." Well, guess what? I am not a reporter. I'm not an investigative reporter. I am not a part of the press. I am a commentator to help the situation and help get the word out. That's what I promised these ladies in the group that I would do, and
it's very obvious that she's starting to question where she positioned herself in this story with Katie. Remember, the caters or the haters of Katie were in her comment section earlier on the live that we had discussed, talking crap to Molly about supporting Katie. And she was saying, I don't understand this. I have nothing to worry about. Nothing's going to happen from this. We're just working on a story, trying to get the information out. Remember that?
Promised Letitia and her family that I would try and help. And guess what? The ball is rolling, and it wouldn't be rolling if it wasn't for you guys. I think that
for once, she said somebody else besides herself.
Tucson is very much aware. Tucson and Yuma police are very much aware of what's happening. 600 calls? I mean, I guess I would have thought maybe 2 to 3 dozen at the most.
Does anybody else remember creators that were encouraging people to comment on the Yuma PD's Facebook page and or call and contact them? Does anybody else remember that?
I feel so terrible for him. And with my last live, I got so upset. And I had to abruptly end it without even saying goodbye. And I'm just like, oh my God.
Back to the dramatics that she is known for. She fills in all of these gaps with such antics that it's really hard to figure out.
So yeah, when it comes to without a crystal ball, I've never seen any of her videos before, but I was grateful that she wanted to kind of look into the story as well.
And again, my understanding is Katie's followers reached out to her and asked her to cover the story. Molly was contacted by admins from the group.
And I'm grateful that she actually put in the time and the work to look what she's doing. But like I said, I can't confirm any of the things that she's saying. So I'm only going to confirm what was definitely sent to me or said to me,
Well, considering you've confirmed a lot of things that have been said and sent to you, but yet you haven't shown proof of these things.
Thank you. I don't even know how to brace myself tomorrow because I don't know what's going to happen. It's kind of like getting on a roller coaster where you don't actually see it. You just kind of get on it and you go through a black tunnel, and then whatever happens, happens.
All right, I want you guys to answer a question for me. I know a lot of you are new to these creators also that didn't know who they were and are just catching up on it. But do you kind of see a pattern of behavior with how they behave? Does anybody else see a pattern in this?
You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I want to say thank you to all the people that have been with me for all of these years. I want to apologize to the people that watch me on YouTube every time I get the chance. I'm sorry for dragging you into this case. I know you guys aren't getting a lot of sleep. I know that you guys are very, very worried and very, very concerned. But in the end, I'm really hoping for the best for this gentleman.
That felt like a whole lot of word salad to me, because in essence, all she's doing is basically saying, I have confirmed a lot of unconfirmed details in this case. And I know I've said a lot of things that are untrue to this point, but please forgive me. I'm tired and trying.
Another channel is called Live with MollyGoLightly, where we really don't talk about what we try. We try not to talk about these cases because it's very hard to decompress. When you, like this, for me, this is like a big story. And I've worked on five big stories. And only a couple of them have really, really messed with me. This one is just very odd because it is a very dark, it has like a sinister vibe around it, and it's so uncomfortable to talk about.
I'm sure that these cases do have an effect on the creators after a while. I'm absolutely sure of that because I know that the details in this case have been hard for me to process at times. So I'm not going to discount her feelings there whatsoever. But once again, to me, this feels like lack of accountability because of XYZ always happening, and therefore, she's tired, or they're having an emotional impact on her, or this or that.
I can't wait until it's over. I can't wait until things really move along and we can all find some peace. Thank you so much. I appreciate you more than you know. Thank you.
We're not done yet, even though she said she's done. Remember, this is 2:30 in the morning on July 12th. She's still not angry with Katie at this point in time, right? She's just stating that she can't confirm a lot of this information. So she's being cautious, basically. But she's not putting Katie down at all at this point. She's not going after her. She's not calling her names. She's not stating that Katie forced her to send people to her channel.
Okay, 1 second. How about we put that on hold? All right. So without a crystal ball 2 hours ago is, all right, now without a crystal ball, now you're fucking pissing me the fuck off. All right?
Well, here we are a few hours later again, and watch how drastically the switch has been. Remember, this has been like 24 hours and we are here.
Here she is. Today, Without a Crystal Ball has spent hours helping multiple family members of Von McRae and the kids.
Yeah, I got that email.
Okay, so due to the sensitivity of the situation and rampant rumors, you started them. You started the rumors. Letitia Bias has retained a lawyer. Oh, is that what you found out? Okay, all right.
Because
we set it up. We set it up. Okay. Letitia signs a legal contract with the lawyer this morning. Actually, that's wrong. It was actually yesterday evening. It's okay.
I just have to take a moment and let you all laugh right there, because you're hearing Molly on the 12th of July state that they helped Letitia get an attorney, that Katie had said that Letitia retained an attorney also. Does anybody notice how confident they are in their disagreement with Katie? Katie's stating that Letitia hired an attorney. Molly is stating Letitia hired an attorney. So obviously they're all getting sent this information. But who was telling them that this was going on? Molly and Justin supposedly helped Letitia retain this attorney, but they were still collecting money for attorney's fees beyond this point. And the attorney that they supposedly helped retain didn't end up being one that she went with because she found somebody cheaper. Wasn't that one of the first stories that was put out? Anybody remember?
Or whatever. Due to the situation moving into court already? It is? It's moving into court. Okay.
Again, this was July 12th. It is September 1st. There has been 0 filings in court whatsoever at this point.
So that means you're just going to get a judge to sign off. It doesn't mean like a court trial, because people get like, oh, is there a trial? No, you guys speak facts, right? I spoke to the person that helped facilitate the lawyer for Letitia.
It's not true. That's not.
And once again, these didn't come from Katie. These were sent to me by somebody else. A statement that Brittany, the ex-admin of Dre, had made about helping Letitia.
I have asked them to contact the lawyer to see if they can set up a trust for people to donate directly to, rather than a fundraiser.
Many people had been asking for a fund.
So she doesn't like that we were giving money directly to Letitia's Cash App. Oh, okay, Without a Crystal Ball. Number 3.
They had a GoFundMe. So what was the need of putting up their Cash App? If people wanted to donate, they could have done it to the GoFundMe. That way, it's all tracked and accounted for. And if there's issues, people can get a refund.
Letitia and Von's family do not know where he is at the time. Letitia had not been notified by anyone that the hospital was locked down. The location that Von had been at is now telling people that he is not there.
She's deleting posts on Facebook right now, someone said.
Okay, all right, listen, Without a Crystal Ball. I'm telling you what a Hershey police officer came and said to my face in my house. Did you get a police officer at your house? No. Why are you going to delete it? Don't delete it. You're saying it. So now everything that these people are telling me and Justin about you really is true. It really is true. Tisha and Von's family do not know where he is. Von's status is not known. No. That's impossible. Are you telling me that you're trying to tell us that it's possible, right? That his wife, Dr. Dre, took over and picked him up, put Von in the car, and they ran off into the sunset. We're not buying it. Okay.
Once again, there's a lot to unpack in what she just said. But a big thing she just said is, you think for 1 second that they don't know Marvon's status or where he's at? That somebody doesn't know? Exactly, Molly. So why are you passing it off that the family is not able to find out this information at this point in time? You've been passing it off that nobody's known. But yet when she said it before you, it was a problem.
MollyGoLightly said on her live that Dre is banned from visiting Von. No one has been able to confirm this to be true. You know what?
And it still has never been confirmed.
If you have a problem, all right, now you don't like that I fucking called her ass out, bitch. I'm gonna call you right now.
It's interesting how she says you don't like how I called you out. Yet you saw what she called her out on. She wasn't really calling her out. She was just saying, I can't confirm this information. Yet now it's a competition between the two of them.
I don't know if that's good idea, Marissa. Marissa.
What, dude, she's a piece of work. She's a piece of work. She's trying to make me look like I'm the one.
I was really excited for a few moments here, thinking Justin had gotten a backbone and was actually going to stop her. Yet that was short-lived.
Okay, there is 100% an open and active DCS case with Andrew McRae related to the case due to confidentiality. Like, we know that.
We know that, sweetheart. I spoke to the husband.
They're not telling us anything there.
But earlier, Molly said she can't confirm any of that.
There are multiple family members that are working behind the scenes to ensure the safety of both Von and the kids.
She's lying.
Many people have told us that family members from different sides have been working behind the scenes to protect Vaughn and the kids. Haven't they?
She says, however, the father of the girls was notified of the investigation yesterday. I talked to him days ago.
Days ago.
And you know what he told me? He said they were out there last week. Now, that's the week before.
Yes.
CPS contacted him of the situation. Dude, your credibility is shot. Thank God.
I just want to make it very well known that I do not have contact with the ex-husband and do not anticipate having any whatsoever, and or anybody involved with the kids. I do not.
Thank God I listened to my picture. Thank God I read these comments. You, my dear, are a fraud. That's why you have all of these problems. That's why you're constantly getting sued, because you don't like it that more people are, look, you don't like it that Letitia is coming over here? What have you done for Letitia? You've done nothing.
And this, for me, is exactly where the game changed. What have you done for Letitia? It became about who could do more for Letitia in this right here, in my opinion.
You've done nothing.
I mean, we directly talked to,
This is just fuckery. This is what we wanted to avoid. Drama. This family doesn't need more drama. They're already dealing with Dre. Now you're going to say...
I don't understand what Justin was going to state here about we have a direct communication, because so did Katie. Multiple people have had direct communication with the family. I've spoken to Letitia myself.
Here and say that the police didn't tell me that Dre can't even see him?
so,
Are you guys really believing that?
What do you guys think? Do you think the police officer told her that?
so let's finish reading this.
Yeah, let's finish reading them.
There are multiple family members that are working behind the scenes to ensure the both fund. This means many of them will not be speaking out publicly because emergency court filings are expected in the coming days. We said that last night, that Letitia would not be speaking. We said that last night.
Because she texted it to me.
Well, once again, I'm extremely confused because it's September 1st, the date that I'm making this video. And they haven't stopped talking yet. Any of them that supposedly had attorneys. The only one that has stopped talking or really never talked is the ex-husband.
We texted to me, yeah.
The family is seeking any and all video that contains no writing of the kids being given credit, and Andrea speaks about mental and physical. How does she know this? How would she know?
I think she stated she had sources connected.
She also uses biofeedback to help, herbs to help. Okay.
Nine.
In China. The family
Nine.
is also seeking videos without writing that shows Andrea in the hospital giving Bond.
Anything from his tube or in his mouth. They
I get so confused at why they are so angry about Katie's post, because they have said the same thing and showed the same videos to their followers. So why are they so mad about Katie saying it?
also seeking videos where she discusses giving Vaughn unapproved herbs or medication outside of the doctor's orders. You already have those videos, Mama. You were proud to say that all these videos are coming to me, but they want them to be only on my channel. So can you divert all of your subs to my channel? We read right through you. And you also said...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
And here's where she mentions that Katie asked her to divert her followers over to her channel. But earlier, when she diverted those people over, she wasn't angry.
And then she also said that it's impossible to explain this case in 30 minutes because I put out a video saying this is the case in 30 minutes or less. And I did it. And I did a pretty good job on it. Then
I love how they're so hung up over whether you can do this in 30 minutes or not. Yes, can you jam it all into 30 minutes? Absolutely. Molly, you jammed misinformation.
someone went over and said, oh, it's pretty good. She said, well, I'm a real reporter. I'm a real reporter. Blah, 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 blah. Anyone with information that can help the family with the above videos. You don't want all the videos, sweetie. Please send them to me via Messenger. I will forward them directly to the people in need. Who would that be? Who's the people in need?
Wasn't it just a couple hours earlier in this day that they were all working for one common goal?
11. All family members that were in need of lawyers have now retained lawyers and are moving forward with the legal proceedings. Please allow this to play out in the court versus bombarding CPS or the hospitals. You're a little.
Katie's post mentions, please do not bombard CPS. But I need to remind you guys that it wasn't Katie that had suggested the CPS stuff first. This had started in the Justice for Vaughn and Exposing Dre McCrae groups. The messages kind of confirmed that.
Too late, sweetheart. We've gone past that. If you have questions, please let me know. I'm doing what I can to help facilitate in any way that I can.
You can see how upset Molly is about this post that Katie made on her page. Yet it seems very displaced.
You know something? I'm subbing you, and I don't ever want to hear your freaking name again. I don't want any. I'm sorry that I went on your channel, and I'm sorry that I sent all these people. Without a crystal ball, you really are exactly what people have said that you are. They're going to sit there and try and make me look like a liar after I had Hershey police in my house, looking like a lowlife? How dare you?
And this is where the drama started between the two of them. If you look back, it kind of is silly because they were initially fighting on the same side. They were both in communication with the family, the admins, everybody, but now not.
How dare you? You don't like it. You don't like it that Letitia has put a little bit of trust in two complete strangers. Us.
Again, it's really interesting because Letitia was also in communication with Katie. So was Wynette. They were texting with Katie at the same time and continued to even after this outburst from Molly. They actually wanted them to work it out. They were enjoying both. But the creators obviously could not handle that. That wasn't going to be okay. So one of them had to go.
We're trying to help her. How dare you try and make it as if me and Justin are putting out false information after you?
Marissa, I don't think this is from Without a Crystal.
Again, they had both been putting out misinformation at this point. Where was it coming from, Molly?
It was just on her Facebook. It was on her Facebook.
It was on Facebook?
Yes, I was just looking at it.
Okay.
You know what? Lose my number. Don't talk to me ever. Don't even bring up my name, okay? Don't ever bring up my name. What you have done and what you're trying to do is very, very sneaky, underhanded. It's very shady. And you want to know something? I said it to Dre. I'm going to say it to you. Marvon deserves better. And you want to know something without a crystal ball? You get an F. You have gotten an F.
And I agree again with Molly on one thing that she said. Marlon deserves better. He absolutely deserves better than the mess that his story has become. You are absolutely correct, Molly, but everybody is to blame.
The hell out of here. Trying to say, oh, we have no, oh, yeah, then you got this connection. Who's your connection? Dre, Dr. Dre herself? Really? Get out of here. Everything's her sources. Her sources.
And earlier in the stream, Molly seemed completely fine with sharing sources because that's what was comfortable for the source. Yet now she's livid.
The thing is, like, we literally got her the attorney last night. We had a laugh about it. We celebrated about it. And then Scorpio's daughter works there.
So again, looking back, they stated that they had gotten Letitia an attorney the night before this stream. And that Scorpio's daughter works for this attorney's firm.
She just started crap on you with the Facebook people. I don't care about that. And you want to know something? This is who she is. And everyone tries to warn us. And we're like, oh, we'll give her the benefit of the doubt. Never again. You will never get a click from me. You will never earn my subscription back. Everything that everyone warned me and Justin of is you just proved it.
I have missed what Katie proved in that post that people have said she was going to do. Because Molly, you were saying the exact same things Katie was saying.
You've heard a lot of people. She's getting sued for calling people and accusing people and businesses pedos. A lot of things. And you want to know something? That bad feeling? I didn't have to tell you something. I know what the bad feeling was that I couldn't understand and I couldn't shake on Monday. It was her. And I realized it was her. I didn't realize it. I just didn't want to say it. But I did say, yo, go look at my new video.
And once again, it's instant dramatics. Oh, she was that bad feeling I was having, all of this. Yet just 12 hours ago, they were buddies and working together.
Because it's called I Can't Confirm. Look at this, Ikmal. We got Ikmal. Can you come up here? Because you are a huge YouTuber. Ikmal makes me look like a welfare case. This guy right here does true crime, and he does it in a very classy, humorous way. And I'm a huge fan of him. And I think, and he better take the wing, or else I will chop his head off. He's the real deal, and he is against putting out false info. He does it the right way.
We're huge fans.
We are all. Everyone loves Ikmal.
You look how excited she gets at another creator coming in to the middle of this mix. And instead of making it about Marvon and Marvon's story and making sure that that creator knows how important the story is, she makes it about the drama with her and Katie that she just created. And yes, this creator says, I've been warned also about Katie. I don't know if there's anybody on YouTube or the face of the planet that hasn't been warned about Katie at this point in time, because the Caters are wild and make sure that everybody knows exactly who she is and what they accuse her of. And they are relentless about trying to drag another person in to do their dirty work and do their dragging of Katie on these live streams. They are hell-bent to involve anyone and everyone they can in that mission. And to me, that's weird, because if I don't have a side to pick, then I'm the bad guy.
30-minute summary was amazing. Without crystal ball said, you can't do this in 30 minutes or less. You can. And Mallory Williams passed the test. She goes, girl, that's a quick horse.
Again, I don't really know much about YouTube or YouTube creators. I have watched Ikmal a few times. I do enjoy his content, yet I kind of hesitate to really participate much there at all because of his alignment with MollyGoLightly. He has said he only likes factual information, but if you've watched Molly, especially over the last month, you will see that that is definitely not what she does. And if he's getting his information and passing it off as fact from her, then I kind of have a big hesitation. I don't know if that's truthful. I know that he really hasn't covered this case. He just popped up on panel with her. It seems like he's more kind of a quiet supporter of everyone and stays out of the drama, if you ask my opinion on him. Yet I still hesitate just because of what I assume is his alignment with Molly.
I'm not telling people don't subscribe, but I said I'm unsubscribing. I will never mention her again.
Molly isn't stupid either. She isn't about to outwardly tell her followers to go unsubscribe. She knows by laying things the way she does that she will still get the same effect with her words. And she does this quite often. She will throw things out or say things very indirectly, but she knows that they will have a direct consequence because of her following will absolutely read between the lines, as she says all the time. I cut the stream off of there because I don't want to involve another creator, because I really don't think he has any clue of what's going on with the Marvon McCrae situation at all. And if he was to be brought in, I feel that it would be my duty to reach out to him and try to explain why I'm covering this or he got included. But honestly, I don't have time for that, and I'm sure he has no interest, so we're cutting it there. But I think you all probably get the point of what this video shows. It started off very okay between Katie and Molly and Justin even. Elle didn't come in until after the falling out happened between Molly and Katie. Right here where this starts going south, Elle perfectly swoops in. And wouldn't you know, she has past history with Katie. So of course, she would be the perfect selection to replace Katie if we're going to make this a Katie issue, right? Doesn't that seem to fit awfully perfect to anybody else? And again, I'm not saying that Katie did anything right in the beginning of this case. I'm not agreeing with things she said. I'm not giving her a pass on any of this stuff. I'm pointing out that the falling out between Molly and Katie happened before all of this other stuff happened with the family. The family was in contact with both of the creators still at this point in time. That obviously was not going to work when the creators were having problems of who was releasing stuff, who had sources, and who was doing what first. But when we're talking about how this started to go south, we need to be factual about that information, especially when we're talking about reports being made to CPS and people falsely claiming information about CPS. When this was coming from the very people that you yourself aligned yourself with, Molly. So it wasn't just one creator or one person putting out misinformation that others couldn't verify. It was all of them collectively, including the admins from the groups. That's where they were getting a lot of their information. We've seen the text Katie has put up on her page between her and Tony that outlines some of this stuff. It even shows that Tony admitted to Katie that she contacted CPS. And earlier, Molly didn't seem to have any issues whatsoever diverting her followers to Katie's channel because she wanted them to get this information. Yet now that she's upset because Katie's post basically said the same exact thing that Molly has said, just in a different way, she's really mad, and that's it. I'm really confused of how the flip-flop happened so fast when they're still, at this point in time, all in contact with the family, working for the family, but yet they're fighting over releasing the same information and that they can't verify the same information. Somebody make it make sense to me because I am so lost with this. And if you go back and look at these streams and you read the comment section, they are filled with people telling Molly to get away from Katie, that if she wants to save herself any troubles, to get away. Not saying right or wrong, but I'm sure Molly was feeling heavy pressure by her following. Seems to me like they're fighting over who gets to release misinformation first. But that's the crazy part, is where was this misinformation coming from? And that's the part that so many are having a hard time understanding, including Molly herself. She's not understanding. I've seen Letitia herself state for a long time she didn't block Katie, she was just ignoring Katie. Wynette and Katie had a falling out because Letitia and Wynette had a falling out. This all just fell into place in the perfect way for Molly. This really wasn't about Molly to begin with. You heard Molly state in the beginning of this that there was somebody harassing and going after Letitia. But yet Katie was still involved. So why is she now stating that all of this is Katie's fault? Do you guys make any of that make sense? Because I can't understand that, how it's Katie's fault now, but back on July 12th, there was another group that was after Letitia and harassing Letitia that had nothing to do with Katie. But again, asking questions isn't harassment. I really just wanted to point out some of these big pieces that people are missing, and especially since they seem to continually throw mud at Katie, and because I'm not actively dragging Katie, that means I'm somehow aligned with Katie. They continually discredit my information because of that. But yet, that hatred for Katie has put a lot of them in really iffy situations. But again, it goes back to a bunch of people who were willing to take any opportunity they could get, no matter which way that led them. You had a bunch of people ready and willing to jump on an opportunity that they thought they could control the narrative with. And as always, you cannot have so many cooks in a kitchen because somebody's always going to end up burnt. All right, y'all, I want to hear your thoughts on this. Things that stuck out in this stream to you. Yes, it was 2 streams we combined together within a 12-hour period of that. And yes, there was some streams throughout those days that we didn't go over yet. There's just so much to get to. So tell me what you think. What did you catch in this video? And please remember, I don't care what your views are on any of these creators. But we don't need to bash their looks and do all the other things that they do. We don't need to stoop to that level to expose the ignorance. All right, y'all, I'm going to leave you on that note. But I might see you later this evening with another stream, or tomorrow we will go over the streams Molly did today. Yes, there's a lot to get to. Tell me what you think. I'm also going to give you guys a 5-minute quiet session to be able to talk in the comments before this ends. So if you want to cut out now, go ahead. Contessa, over and out. Hey, you, did you fall asleep? If you did, it's time to go to bed. Sorry you fell asleep to my voice. But I hope you enjoyed today's video. Have a great night.